Okay. There's more to the lecture that I just gave, but I think that's enough for that. I'd like to tell some jokes. Some jokes about Wittgenstein, true stories. Some of them were relayed to me by O'Shaughnessy, Cyril Boyd. Some of them I read when I was there. Anyway, most of them were related to me anecdotally, but by people who didn't tell them as anecdotes, except as anecdotally, but they really happened. And this one did happen for sure. In fact, I'm only going to tell you two of the things that I know that happened for sure, because they're documented also. Again, I didn't get this off the internet. This is like 20 years ago, right? But okay, so Wittgenstein is invited into Bertrand Russell's office. Bertrand Russell, Old Victorian, had all this stuff in there, right? And who was there but Karl Popper, terrible man, insisted that rules exist for everything, rules for morality, in fact. He believed that there were actual rules for morality. Now, what he meant by that, I don't think anybody ever understood. And Wittgenstein Wittgenstein was brave enough. Well, he was always brave. One would call it brash, but one must be brash. And sometimes one must be a serious human being, which is the measure of adulthood and maturity. There's nothing more serious than that. So he was very serious with him. And he said, show me the rule. Show me the rule. And Popper smiled and laughed at Wittgenstein. And he said, no, there are moral rules. And Wittgenstein said, but what moral rules? Now that doesn't mean that Wittgenstein was an immoral person. He believed in ethics, which is a completely different thing and a much finer thing for society. So what happened was Wittgenstein got so angry, and he got angry often, that he picked up the poker from Bertrand Russell's fireplace, where there was a fire, and he waved it at Popper. And Popper stepped back, and Russell said, Wittgenstein, Wittgenstein. Wittgenstein dropped it down on the floor. Fortunately, it wasn't a murder scene whereby they would have had to circle it all off. Popper was still alive, and he laughed at the whole situation. And he said to Russell, apparently Wittgenstein doesn't like rules. Quite funny. There's another one where he's in a lecture hall, and there's a professor, Dolt, at Cambridge, and he's lecturing on the cogito ergo sum. I think therefore I am, Descartes. But how he separated the cogito, meaning the I am, into an actual object, Wittgenstein, he was curious about that. So he was saying, and the cogito X, Y, whatever, right? And he said, show it to me. What is it? Show me the cogito. I want to see the cogito. And the man, he was blustered, you know, he didn't know what to say. But he kept on going with his paper, and he was brash, but he was right. He had, you need to do these things sometimes. He said, show me, show me. You keep on going about the cogito, and I followed you, your logic, but show me the cogito. Show it to me. You're talking about the cogito, is responsible for this and that, but you aren't telling me what the mechanism of the cogito is. You aren't telling me about it. And eventually, Wittgenstein just hollered, and he just said, nonsense, or Unsinn, or something like that. And he ran out of the, or he didn't run out, but he just walked right out. And Bertrand Russell, as usual, trying to keep him in line, he did say this. He turned around like in a, like he was sitting in a church pew, and he said, Wittgenstein! Wittgenstein, come back! But he didn't. There are other funny stories too, but leave that for another time.